All right. Well, folks, I appreciate everybody coming out. I know we're going to be joined probably in progress here by some more supporters, some more folks coming out. My name's Dave Schneider. I'm a UPS package driver here in Jacksonville. I'm an elected shop steward in Jacksonville too for our union. And I'm standing here today, we're standing here today as UPS package drivers, UPS Teamsters out of Jacksonville, our family members, and our many supporters in the Jacksonville community. The reason that we called this press conference today is because, frankly, we want an end to the abuse that package drivers have seen in Jacksonville and all over the country in most cases from UPS management. We want an end to the abuse of our essential workers making critical deliveries during this pandemic. Back in March, earlier this year, when the pandemic really started getting going, UPS put on a very brave face amid the coronavirus cases rising and more people ordering things, more deliveries needing to be made. UPS did a press conference back in March where they said, we're going to need great logistics in order to beat this pandemic. And we have a brown army of 400,000 UPSers ready to answer the call. Today, we stand here to show a different face. The face of the hundreds of UPS drivers in Jacksonville, the thousands of our coworkers who also work in the facility, and our families who rarely get to see us for much time at all anymore. Peak season is the busiest time of the year for UPS. I mean, rightfully so, because it's the holidays. But peak season in 2019 was a little bit different. It was different because it never ended. As the COVID-19 pandemic hit, more people began ordering online and from home. And as a result, UPS has seen its volume and its profit continue to skyrocket. Now, for nearly a year, UPS package drivers have been forced to work dangerously long overtime hours, up to the 60-hour-a-week maximum set by the Department of Transportation. Many drivers, myself included, are regularly worked up to the 13th hour per day limit, also set by the DOT. And all too often, our story is that we walk in the front door long after everyone in our home has gone to bed, only to know that in a few hours, we're going to be asked to go out and do it again. In the last 2 months, many of our UPS center managers right here in Jacksonville have taken to abusing our union's contract language, forcing drivers to come into work on a 6-day report, basically on their weekend. Drivers who have refused this excessive overtime are harshly disciplined, receiving suspensions and even in many cases terminations. UPS drivers, as a result, we're at a breaking point, and sadly so are so many of our families. Facing unprecedented volume, continued forced overtime, and record-setting Florida heat, many drivers have sustained serious injuries and have seen existing health conditions exacerbated. The cruelty of UPS center managers here in Jacksonville has been on full display whenever drivers have filed grievances over excessive overtime, over safety issues, over threats and intimidation. We have seen that they are subjected then to the same constant harassment, to the over-supervision, to surveillance, to threats and intimidation, and to retaliation in the form of even higher, even more unsafe over-dispatched routes day in and day out. Many drivers have even been unjustly fired, and shamefully, when UPS has been found in the wrong in these cases, they have not received back pay. Drivers who've gone out on the Family Medical Leave Act or on short-term disability have also been discriminated against. In fact, there's a lawsuit that was filed last week on the UPS center manager team, one of them right here in Jacksonville, for just such FMLA discrimination. UPS package drivers, I'm going to tell you as one myself, we love what we do. We love going out and making these critical deliveries to people's homes. We love delivering things to your businesses. We love the sense of community and the importance of what we're doing at a time like this now more than ever. Whether it's insulin supplies or medical needs, masks during this pandemic, or even a gift for a loved one at a time when all of us frankly could use a little bit more joy, we're happy to go out and make these deliveries. We want to continue doing our job, but we also want these 18th century barbaric working conditions to end. So that's why today we've stood with supporters, with our coworkers, and the many UPS drivers who are not Tuesday through Saturday workers like myself, and the people who are out on the road right now. We are calling on UPS to end the policy of forced 6-day reports and the policies of excessive overtime. And we want them to do this by adequately staffing their operation and hiring more package drivers. Second, we want an end to the harassment, the threats, the intimidation, the retaliation, the discrimination. That's got to end. And to that end, our third demand, we are calling on UPS corporate to investigate these abusive practices of the Jacksonville center manager's policies and their cruel practices that have subjected ourselves and our families to the breaking point. Part of the reason that we've chosen City Hall today is that UPS, having their third biggest ground hub in the United States right here in Jacksonville, just recently, they had passed through the City Council a $2.5 million increase in the city's tax incentive package to them, which now totals more than $6.8 million in taxpayer money. Now, this is going to expanding facilities. And UPS said in their pitch for why they thought they needed this increase in tax incentives that they were going to create, they pledged to create 240 new jobs by the end of 2024. Well, I'd like to see 240 new jobs. I'd like to see 240 new full-time, well-paying jobs that get their operation staffed adequately so that package drivers no longer are subjected to this kind of, again, 18th century barbaric working conditions. That's why we're standing here today.